So completely up to you, right? Completely up to you if you use it. But first and foremost, welcome to another night of sales talk, right? Let's jump right into it, man. Last night, if you didn't catch it, go back, man. I posted the video up, right? So you can watch the whole thing. It's available for you. Go watch it. If for some reason you're like, yo, you know what? It just wasn't for me. I'm not in sales, but I know someone who is. They're having a hard time. Send it to them. All right. Send it to them because we're going to do this. We're going to do this every night, Monday through Friday. I might jump on the weekend. But anyway, man, let's jump into this, man. I hate fluff. All right. So you got to go back to the other one because I'm just going to keep going, right? I'm going to keep going through this. I'm giving y'all the foundation of what I use to hit that first 100,000, right? What I use to hit the first 100,000 in car sales and what I helped other people, how I helped other people to hit their first 100,000 in car sales, right? So if you're in car sales a year or less, right? This is phenomenal for you. If you got more time than a year, but you still struggling, it's phenomenal for you, right? Other than that, can you use it other places in your life? Absolutely. All right. Before the car business, man, I was doing um 30, 30 something a year, right? On my GED. Once I got into the car business, yo, it jumped, right? It jumped. Like I told y'all yesterday, I started May 5th, 2012. And in that first 7 months, right? May 5th, 2012, I did 75,000, right? This is not a fluke. This is no fluff, right? I did 75 after that, man. I never did under 100 in the car business on the sales floor. All right. And this is with a GED. This is the guy that had all the insecurities in the world. My spelling atrocious, my reading atrocious, right? When I dropped out of high school, seventh, eighth grade reading level. So I'm telling you this to let you know right now, if you're struggling with your reading, you're struggling with your math, you're struggling mentally, emotionally, whatever it is, you feel broken. Yo, you have so many tools when it comes to you feeling broken, right? You have so many advantages over so many people. Sales is a phenomenal place to use it. So if you didn't catch the video last night, man, you got to go back and you got to look at that one. I can't jump in and recap because I don't want to take a lot of time tonight, but I really want to give y'all the information that is needed because the income that you're currently earning, yo, you can 3x it in the next 90 days using sales. All right. You can 3x it. So again, man, you got to go back, watch the other one. I'm going right into number 3 where I left off yesterday. Ask yourself this. What do you think is holding you back from reaching your sales mission? Right? It says goal. So if you ended up, if I sent you the workbook, you're gonna see in there it says goal. But I want you to replace goal with mission. Why? Because most of y'all set a goal for yourself and you let the goal go. You didn't follow up on the goal, right? And then you let that goal go and you set another one and you think you're killing the game because you're a master goal setter, but you're not achieving anything, right? So no more goals. From this point on, we are only going to set missions, right? We are only going to set missions. So let's talk about it and get out your feelings. What do you think is holding you back from reaching your sales goal, right? Your sales mission. You think it's your lack of confidence, poor communication skills, lack of your product knowledge, right? Or not following up with customers. Each one of these things, when you improve it, it will improve your income, right? But you got to take the time to sit down and improve it. Is it something that you see value in? So I don't want to just fly by this. And really, I could take the whole thing, man, and we can only focus on this section. And I'm telling you, it's the impact that it has is huge. So think about this, man, your lack of confidence. What type of customers do you find yourself having the least amount of confidence when you talk to them? Right? What type of client, what level, what price point of client intimidates you? Who is that customer? What do they look like? Right? Because we're talking about confidence. What about the customer? Is it maybe the customer makes a certain amount of money? Hey, when I first got into finance, man, and I seen customers coming through, right? You're looking at the credit app, they're writing out the income. And the first time I seen it was like 700 and something thousand, right? 700 and something thousand, like 720 a year that dude was making. And I looked at it and I'm like, yo, how am I going to sell him something? He got money. I'm looking at his mortgage. It's $1,500, right? I'm like, he's not spending a lot. That means he's saving. He don't really need this. And I let the fact of what he was saving tap me out, right? Mentally was tapped out. So I went and told the director, and I was like, yo, man, listen, dude is making this much money. I don't know how to. He was like, yo, I'm gonna do the customer. I just want you to sit and watch. He did the customer like every other customer, nothing different. Dude bought everything. Right. So I had to ask myself, my lack of confidence, because dude was making more money than I was making, so I didn't know how to talk to him, right? My lack of confidence would have cost me, but I brought my director in who's been doing it for so long, and I watched him make it into a $9,000 deal. You see what I mean? So when I watched him, I'm like, yo, oh shoot, that's crazy. I was like, I seen the money and I didn't think, and he was like, yo, don't do that. Don't prejudge. I said, cool. So what I started doing for a little while, right, for like the next month, like no exaggeration, I'm giving him every deal. Like, yo, submit the deal. I just don't want to see the income. The income was making me nervous. Once I developed my presentation, I didn't care. It didn't matter if I looked at the income or not. I was comfortable doing it. So what I'm saying to you is I want you to break this thing in the steps. You're not comfortable doing everything. You're not comfortable with every part of the deal, the deal. Some of y'all are phenomenal at getting people to answer the phone and setting the appointment. So if you know you're very good at setting the appointment, but you can't close when nobody's in front of you, yo, focus on setting the appointments. You got to put yourself in a position where you're going to get the best results based off of the current strength that you have, right? The current strength that you have will allow you to stay in the game long enough to build confidence in the areas where you're lacking confidence. All right, let's go to this next one real quick. Poor communication skills. Listen, your communication skills are only poor when you're talking to people who are more advanced than yourself. Right? Think about that. Your communication skills are only low when you're talking to people that is above your communication level. So that means when you understand how you communicate and you understand the type of client, the type of customer you work best with, watch this. I'm gonna give you the quick hack right now. I want you to look at your sales team. I want you to look at everybody that's on your sales team. And I want you to see the customers that they work. Do they work great with the customers that you suck with? Right? This is going to give you an income boost. I promise you, it's so simple, but it's something you can do right now. Do the people around you, are they better with the customers that you always lose than you are? If they are, I want you to now look and see, do they have a certain demographic of customer that they lose? And if they do, are you great with that customer? Is that an easier customer for you to work with? Now what you do is you say, hey, I see you got them. And I notice most of the time your closing percentage is real low with them. But for me, it's very high. So if I take that customer and you take this customer of mine, now you get a half over here, I get a half over there, and it's still the whole. You mind doing that? Yo, a smart person's going to say, yo, absolutely. Why? Because they're losing the deal anyway. Their closing percentage is real low. So this will allow you, right, to take your communication skills and put it with the group that you can maximize your sales. In the process of it, now you're getting better with the other group. So now you don't need to give them away as much. You can keep them for yourself, right? But I need you to stop thinking that you're supposed to just be phenomenal today, because you're not, right? You're supposed to get your butt whipped by this customer every time you meet, because you ain't put the work in yet. You ain't studied yet. Right? Let's go to the next one real quick. Your lack of product knowledge. Listen, let me tell you something. When I first got in the car business, right? My product knowledge was extremely low based on the technical side and what they would say. But I started with Nissan. Coming from my neighborhood, all we dealt with was Nissans, but it was Maximas, right? So I started to see what was the common things. You can see I was getting ready to say familiarity, but I was about to screw it up because I was saying whatever, right? What was common amongst the vehicles, right? This is what I'm telling you. The way you speak, put yourself in that environment, or take and learn to remove that language and put the language in that you have no problem with, right? So let's go back, right? I lost where I was for a second. Boom. We're talking about product knowledge, right? So I rocked with Nissan. Why? Because I understood the Maxima. So I found the things that was common amongst Nissan. Okay, cool. And then every time I got with a new customer, I'm finding out something new about it, and I'll put it in my pad for the cheat code. But I was never selling the product. I was always selling me, right? I was always selling the value of you being able to work with me. That's what I was selling. So it wasn't so much the product knowledge. You know why? Because with the internet, the customer knows more about the product than you. They've been studying it. The customer went hard. They're ready to spend their last on something. The customer went hard studying for the last 2 months, harder than you did for the whole year. They studied everything about this, right? So I'm learning from the customer. I don't have a problem saying, "Oh, so hold on. I don't know, but you don't know either. Let's learn together." "Oh, you know that? I don't know that." Like, "Oh, you're teaching me today. I'm gonna grab my notepad." And they're looking like, "Oh my God, I did so much homework." Yes. Why? They get the opportunity to show off what they learned of things that I don't know. And even if I know, I'm gonna let them get the kudos for it. Again, building relationships, right? So you heard what I said in the beginning the other day. All we're looking to do is buy, sell. I mean, is sell and build, right? Sell plus build equals long-term success. That's all we're focused on. So every time I get with someone, that's all I'm focused on. All right. So we want to make sure if you don't know your product knowledge, do you have enough knowledge about something you can move the deal forward? All right. Your follow up with your customers. Some of y'all feel like you're bothering customers. You feel like you're a pest. You feel like you're aggravating the heck out of this customer. Why? I don't know. The customer sent in the lead. The customer gave you their contact information. Why? Because they want to be contacted, right? So if you don't contact that customer, you're doing an injustice to the customer, right? So if I find myself calling a customer over, I can't get a hold of them. Number one, I'm asking myself, like, yo, are you giving the customer a reason to call you back? And not asking the customer for something, right? But you're giving the customer something of value. You're giving the customer something of value, or you're placing something of value connected to the customer calling you, right? So I know I need this customer to call me back. And I know if the customer don't call me back, I don't have the opportunity to help the customer. So that means I'm going to be very creative on every phone call. Not only am I going to be creative, but I'm going to track what I said on the last phone call, the one before that, and the one before that, and so I'm not repeating myself over and over to the customer. You don't know what to say. It's the only reason you're not calling the customer back over and over, right? If the customer says to you, what's one of the things they can say? Yo, why are you harassing me? Why do you keep calling me? Okay, cool. How do you respond to that? Figure it out. Figure it out, right? I'm not just going to well, hold on. I'm going to tell the customer in the message, right? In the message, I might say to him, you know, last thing I want to do is be a pest, right? But I don't want to miss the opportunity to help you. I know some people get busy from time to time. Give me a call. Even if you're no longer in the market, call me or send me a text. And I'm going to get my number, right? And I'm going to leave it just like that. Boom. I'm letting you know I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to be right here until we move this forward. All right. I'm going to be right here until we move this forward. I'm not going nowhere. Let's go down to the next thing, right? Let's move right along. So when we're talking about confidence, right? Because that's what a lot of people lack. A lot of people lack confidence when it comes to sales. But when you think about it, your lack of confidence can be fixed, right? It can be fixed. What do you need to do? How do we do it? What areas are we focused on? Number one, you got to believe in yourself, right? Number one, you have to believe in yourself. Number two, you have to dress for a level of success. And when you hear people say that, if you're dressing better than you normally did, you're taking more pride, yo, that's your dress for success. It doesn't mean I got to dress like everybody else and look like everybody else. It means I just got to be me, and I got to move with another level of confidence, right? I got to move with another level of confidence. I need you to practice your sales. I hate to say pitch, right? Really not into the pitch, but I need you to practice your sales approach every day. Like every day, practice your sales approach. Okay. Practice your sales approach and know your product. Know your product. I don't want to say to you, know your product inside and out, but I want you to know your product. I don't want you to be the dummy. If you didn't know something, but someone says something, you can at least finish it. Oh, I know what you're talking about. So now you can have a conversation. I see so many salespeople just not know anything about the product that when the customer's talking, you can't even jump in. You can't even jump in and say, oh, I was studying that and I remember it said, and then let them carry on, right? Because now they feel like they taught you something. So think about this, right? Let me put you on. It's all about personalities when we're talking sales, right? Personalities. So if I identify that you're the type of customer that loves to talk, that loves to show off, that loves to be a Mr. Know-it-all, Mrs. Know-it-all, I want to give you the ammunition to be that, right? And then I want to make sure I'm always guiding the sale. So I'm guiding it with my questions. But if I can get you to talk through this whole process and I don't have to be the one talking, then why would I? Right? Why would I? I don't need to be, right? That's not my thing. So let's break this thing down real quick, right? Your you being authentic is going to help build trust. So when you hear me say, like, yo, talk like you, walk like you, sit like you, everything just like you, I'm showing you that I'm a real person. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to hide my imperfections. I'm not trying to hide the fact that I might not be able to enunciate this all the way correctly, right? I might not say the word, but if I say it wrong, or I might be like, it was that right? And you're like, yeah, that was right. Oh my God, I get caught up with words all the time. I'm creating common ground, right? So I'm always willing to be authentic, the authentic me. You're afraid to be you. So once you hide behind who you're not and you really shows up, your customer's just looking like, yo, if you lied about that, what else would you lie about? You know why? Your customer has imperfections. Your customer's not perfect. So when you think you're lying to move the sale forward, that's just something else you got to remember. But you're having a hard enough time remembering the other stuff you need to remember so you can actually make the deal. All right. I don't want you to do that. When you are truly yourself, your values show up genuinely. People become attracted to it. People now, do you notice, right? Like for instance, I know when I used to travel out of state, and if you go to a barber shop, right, you can pretty much find whatever's going on in the city. You go to the local radio station, you find whatever's right, you turn it on the local radio and you find whatever's going on in the city. So when people know that you have real information, you're trustworthy, you never have to now tell them to send you people or do anything. They become walking billboards for you. They always want to talk about you. So if your sales are low, if you have dry spells, it's just because you're not being trusted among everybody that you're working with. Trust is the biggest thing for me when I'm working with someone. Why? Because it says long-term success. So I'm always going to be the authentic me. Stop hiding behind who you would like to be, right? And be who you are and work on becoming who you would like to be. Yo, that way is so much easier, right? The second thing is your personal connections. Stop trying to avoid building personal connections because you feel like you lack value and you have nothing worthy of being connected to. See, it's easy for me to build connections with people because I feel like I'm phenomenal to be connected to. I feel like I have great value. I identify what my superpower is. So when I'm talking to somebody, I'm identifying if them or someone they may not know have a weakness that my superpower can infect in a positive way. Because if they don't see the connection with me, right, they're going to say, oh, you know what? I got someone, man, I really would love you to talk to. And when they say that, I'm like, oh my God, like, what do you mean? Like, and what would be the reason? And they're going to tell me. And when they tell me, we create a connection because they're connecting me to someone that they're cool with. So I'm going to build that relationship and I still have this relationship. You understand? So I need you to think about when you're in the process of selling and making deals, get that personal connection, but you got to have the confidence. So you got to identify. People say, Pierre, why you if you all in the sales, why are you always talking about personal development, personal development? Because I need to become someone of value, someone that has like strong sense of values that become contagious to other people so they can see it, so they want to latch on. Do you notice when you want to latch on to someone, it doesn't have the same value when someone wants to latch on to you? So you become worthy. When you want to latch on, you got to prove yourself and do this and do that and do this. And you feel like, man, I'm not kissing nobody's, right? So that because you don't want to latch. That's how you got to latch. They got to invite you. No, I want to I want to be to the point where you look and you're like, yo, you're a good person I need to know. That's totally different, right? So this is what I'm looking for. So you hear me talking about confidence. You need confidence so you can be the authentic you and build the trust you need to build. You need confidence so that you can build the personal connections based on who you are and not who you're pretending to be. Imagine having 100 people, and out of the 100 people, you have 6, 7 different personalities you got to remember amongst these 100 people. Who did you show them? Who did you show them to? I just got to be one person, me. If you like me, okay. Cool, let's rock. If you don't, that's okay too, because you would probably be so much on my a-hole meter, right? You're taking too much away from me. Too much time, too much attention. You're too needy. I don't want you to be needy. I don't want the needy people around me. You're too needy. Get what you need, right? That's why I don't that's why I don't like having low rates for anything, right? Like I don't want to work with you for cheap. Why? Because you become too needy. You're not executing. You think because you got it for cheap, you're going to hear magic words and you're going to just blow up. You're just going to take off, right? Everything going to work for you. No. When you really invest in yourself, you're so busy executing, you only reach out when you need the help. You show up for the call with real questions. Like, yo, I'm doing da, 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 da. How do I do this? Yep, do this, do that, connect that, boom, done. You come back with the success story. Like, yo, that was easy. You see what I'm saying? So I'm about to go the other way. I want to stay right here. Let's go to the third one, right? Confidence, being yourself, right? I touched that. Confidence, being yourself. Confidence will earn you money. You being yourself. Don't be afraid to be you. And no matter what room you're in. And sometimes the person you need to be in that room is the one that doesn't say much. Some rooms we go into just to listen. And when we listen, we realize that the things we've been saying, the things we've been doing are 100% right. We just been missing a little piece, the belief that it could actually work. But once you go into these rooms and you start hearing other people say these things, and you're like, yo, I was thinking that. Yo, did they steal my idea? No, they didn't steal your idea. They was brave enough to act there on their own. All right. So confidence is huge. Number 4, unique selling propositions, right? Number 4, having unique selling propositions when you're talking with your customer. Your customer needs to be able to separate you from everybody else. So what's one of the things that I do all the time? I'm asking customers like, how long you been looking? And they're going to tell me. Tell me the top 3 things that stopped you from moving forward. And they're going to tell me. And I'm going to say, well, wow. What could have been done differently that would have had you say yes and you would have been done with your shopping? And they're going to tell me. And I'm going to say, you know what? I got an idea because it wouldn't be hard. You already been shopping. You did all the homework, right? What if I'm able to do this, this, and this, and able to put this on as a little bonus just because of what you had to already go through other places? What? If you can do that, I'm in. Yo, move it right along. What do you think they do when they leave? Yo, I went there, did this, said this. Yo, instantly, my guy just said, okay, boom. He made it so easy for me. So when you're looking in the car buying process, what do people complain about? People say it takes too long. People say, yo, it's too much back and forth. I just eliminated that. So now when you talk about me, that's a unique selling proposition, right? That's something that is so unique. They're like, yo, I went there and literally I was in and out in 2 hours, hour and a half. The longest time was me doing my part. Yo, that's a game changer. All right. That's a true game changer. So let's jump to number 5 real quick. Long-term relationship, right? Long-term relationships. Finally, being yourself can help you to build long-term relationships with customers. When you are authentic and build trust with customers, they are more likely to come back again and again and again and send people to you as well. That needs to be how you measure your growth, right? That needs to be how you measure the way you dealt with this customer. Will that customer come back to you? If you're not getting your customers to come back, you got to stop saying you're killing the game. You got to stop saying you're good in sales. They're not coming back to you. They're not referring anybody to you. They're not sending you nobody, right? Anyone that I ever sold a car to, my sales guys now, I tell them, listen, once you shake that hand, yeah, I need you to entice them. I need you to give them a reason to send somebody to you. So I told all of them, listen, $150, right? Give everybody $150. No problem. They send you a customer, you give them $150, right? If they send you 5 customers and nobody buys, tell them you still send them the $150. Why? I want them to keep sending people. I want to reward them. If you're good at closing, right? If you're good at closing and you don't get 1 out of 5, you don't get 1 out of 5. I tell listen, send me 5 people, 5 real buyers, right? And I send you $200, even if they buy or not, for every 5. What are you thinking? Yo, I'm always looking for somebody. Why? Because that's half your car note. See what I mean? I want to give you a reason to call me. Let's jump into this next one. Jump into this next one real quick. And then yeah, we're out of here. We're out of here after this, right? This is gonna be the last one for the night. Let's see where we at. Number 4. All right, yeah, and then I get to ooh, that's fire. All right, time and judging. All right, we'll jump into that tomorrow. Let's go on number 4. Right? I want you to write this down. Remember, you got to answer these questions. Don't be afraid of the questions. Answer the questions, right? Are there any specific customers that you are having trouble selling to? Any type of customers you're having trouble selling to, write them down. Write down the customers you are having trouble selling to. Yo, let me ask you a question and be honest, right? How many of you ever done that? How many of you ever sat down and made a list of the type of customers you're having problems with? Think about if every customer is worth $1,000 and you're having trouble with one type of customer and you're getting five opportunities at this customer a month and you're getting 0. What if you was able to now capture 2 of the 5, 3 of the 5, right? Yo, that would change. You're making another 2, 3,000. So why would you not take time to sit down and understand the customers that you're having problems closing? You're having problems getting to the yes. The engineer, yo, used to give me so many problems, right? The engineer, your IT person, why? Because I'm go, 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 go. IT dude be like, let me look, let me see, let me read it. I'm talking about document like this, right? Look, you see my hand up there coming down? Document like that long, legal size, like double legal size, front and back. And they sitting over here reading the whole daggone thing, reading the whole thing, taking their time. And then once they get done reading it, they want to read something else. And then once you give them all the information, they still want to go and think about it. Yo, it used to drive me crazy. I used to know I'm about to take 2, 3 hours with these people, and they still not going to buy right now. They're going to leave. They're going to leave, and I got to hope they come back, or I got to call them and call them and call them and hope to get them back, right? So they drove me crazy. So I learned real fast, right? Real fast. When I say real fast, within 30 days, I was on it. I was on it. Why? Because that type of customer was always coming to Nissan. Ha, right? So I started with Nissan, so I had to learn it. So I said, hey, listen, you know what? You're looking at this one. What I want to do is I have all the information right here in this folder. I want to give it to you. And I want you to go and look it over. I want you to read everything that's in there. Please do not miss anything. And then I know there's a blank piece of paper in there too. I want you to write down all your questions. And when you're done, like if you do it today or you want to sit over here and do it, that's fine. Or if you want to set another time to come in, and then we can go through all the questions you have. That way we don't miss anything. Would that work for you? Yeah, they started being like, oh my God, yes, thank you. Nobody ever has all of this. Everybody always hates when I come. They see me with my notepad. I'm like, nah, you got your notepad. I already know. You just want information right now. So I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to be your butler. I already had it put together. What car? Oh, got you. And it was only certain types of cars that these individuals was coming in on. So why couldn't I be prepared? So I got prepared for them. And no longer did I fall to that customer, right? So I need you to understand you're seeing the same customers every day in, day out, day in, day out. Shame on you if you don't take the time to understand the customer. For every customer personality that I understand, yo, that's another couple grand. That's another couple grand. You know what I mean? Like a month, every month, continuously. Because I'm not letting it walk out the door. You got customers walking out the door. So I want you to really like, yo, take the time, write it down. What type of customer personality are you having trouble selling? Who is that customer? Customer gives you a hard time selling. Who are they? Right? Now, what are the reasons, right? What are the reasons why you think you're having trouble selling to them? Put a note, make a note of it. Make a whole list. This customer, this type of customer is giving me these problems. I'm having a hard time with this customer. right? And I'm having a hard time with this customer, and these are the reasons I'm thinking. And then I want you to go through each one of the reasons you're thinking, right? And I want you got to clearly be able to justify. I knew my lack of patience was destroying me selling to anybody who was an engineer, anyone in IT, it was destroying it. Right. So I started taking a lot of half a deals. And one month I'm like, yo, I got 10 half deals, 10 half deals. So with 10 half deals, that means, let's say I made $5,000 off of my half. That means I gave up another five. So I would have had 10. I gave up 10 half deals one month because I wasn't studying the customer. When I started studying the customer, I learned how to deal with the engineer and I learned how to deal with the IT customer. And I stopped losing money due to my laziness, right? I stopped losing money due to my laziness. And now to this day, I hear people. There's certain people that walk into a dealership and you hear salespeople say, oh boy, I don't want to talk to them. Oh my God, them again. I'm looking like, what? Like, yo, let me get that. Especially if it's slow, let me get that. Right? If it's slow, before we jump off, let me give you this hack. When you're in your store, you're selling, it's slow. All I want you to do is find a customer and I want you to work this customer. I don't care if you got to be with this customer all day long. I don't care. It don't matter. You're going to be at the dealership all day long. You might as well have someone in front of you that you can talk to, you can practice techniques with, you can work on moving it forward. And maybe you just might get you a mini out of this deal of being with this person all day. You just might get them to say yes. So now you end up making 200 bucks, 300 bucks today when it was extremely slow. Stop being afraid to dig in. All right. Stop being afraid to dig in. We're going to jump on again tomorrow and we're going to lock in, man. I'm going to take you all through this whole workbook. All right. I'm going to take you through this whole workbook. And at the end of it, man, it's up to you what you do with it, but I'm going to really, really help you out when it comes to sales. So I'm going to all week, every day, Monday through Friday, right? Monday through Friday, we will be here and we're only talking sales. We are only talking sales. And really, I'm talking to people that are in the car industry, people looking to get into the car business, right? Struggling, ready to get out of the car business because you're not making no money. Listen, this is for you. I don't know. Let me see how many pages this is. Let me see. 52 pages, right? This is 52 pages. I'm taking you through this whole workbook that my paying clients paid to go through, right? I'm taking you through this whole thing. We're on page 10 right now, right? We're going to start back tomorrow on page 10, but I'm giving y'all the game. If you're tired of not making the bread that you want to make, right? But you're scared to get into sales. I'm telling you, I don't care if you've never been in sales in your life, like you make no money, like you never sold cars, you never thought about it, you just heard about it. But you're like, yeah, I want to I want to hit 100 grand. Yeah, I got you. It's easy. I ain't gonna say it's easy. It's easy when when you got the cheat code. I'm giving you the cheat code. All right. Listen, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one. Go use the information, man. Don't just sit on it. It won't help you if you do that. Right.